What's going on, everyone? We got to cover RaveDAO because on the previous video where we were talking about RaveDAO, I pretty much predicted that it would have a major crash. Anybody that got out when I made that video saved a ton of money. Literally went down 92% inside of 2 to 3 days. As you can see on the 17th, I made this video, went literally down 92% after that. So we're going to talk about where I think it's going to come next here for RaveDAO. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. So there's one really big key thing that I've noticed happening right now with RaveDAO. When I made this video, as you can see, let me show you the actual day, April 17th. So 3 days ago, I made this video. And you can see right here where it says the top 100 holders collectively own 99.91% of the supply. That's all of the supply collectively owned by the top 99.91% of holders, are by the top 100 holders. So if the top 100 holders are literally holding almost all of the supply, what do you think is going to happen when they let go of that supply? Well, the project starts to dump. And that is exactly why when you come over here, you see the top 100 holders collectively now only own 97.48% of the supply. So they have effectively gotten rid of 2% of the supply and pushed it back out into the market, which is part of the reason why RaveDAO dumped. And now it's also on Ethereum, and it's also on Base. So you can check those ones as well. But the main one is going to be Binance. That's where the most of the holders are at. So they've literally dumped off 2% of the supply just inside of Binance. And I'm pretty sure they've done the same thing on Ethereum and Base. So that's part of the reason why we've seen RaveDAO dump so much, right? I thought that I would at least hold around $1, but right now we're trading inside of a really weird range. So the first descending triangle that we had right here, it dumped out of that. And for those of you that don't know, descending triangles are bearish signals. So that explains why we dumped from that descending triangle. It's a bearish signal. So now what we're seeing inside of Rave is another descending triangle forming up right here. So again, there are bearish signals. Now we can say, hey, maybe this isn't a descending triangle, because if you look at it, it actually goes like this, right? So you can spin it either way you want. But then if you want to spin it this way and say, oh, that's not a descending triangle, that's whatever this is. Well, whatever this is actually a bear pennant. And it says it in the name. It's a bearish pattern. You can call it a bear pennant. You can call it a descending triangle, or you can call it a bearish symmetrical triangle. Either way, this is another bearish signal. So we got to see what is going to happen out of here. And we got to see if it's going to continue downwards or whether or not it's going to break out from there. And also another thing here, another bearish signal that we're actually seeing here is some divergence happening right here. So it looks like we're having a lot of bearish pressure pretty much building here. The buying pressure is slowing down right now. So there's a possibility that we could get another huge push downwards with Rave. So I would definitely say prepare for another push down. And if you also look at the percent R trending exhaustion here on the 30-minute chart, you can also see that the same thing that happened before is kind of happening again. So down here, we have the long-term trend, which is the blue line all the way down here that you can't see. And then the white line here is the short-term trend. If the long-term trend doesn't follow the short-term trend up, then we're going to continue to go down, right? Because when you see the long-term trend up here, it was bullish the whole time and it was overbought. Now it's bearish and it's oversold. The real question is, how long will it stay oversold for? Will it continue and on and just continue to sell off, or will it eventually stop? That's the main thing that we're really focused on here when it comes to Rave. So like I said before, this thing is it's a classic case of a pump and dump. So if you lost money in this, I would just chalk it to the game and just keep going. Literally, if you lost money, you just gotta accept your losses and you gotta move on. Like, it's literally that simple. Like, you don't want to be so caught up on something because you lost money, because now you're gonna be in a point where you're revenge trading, right? And there's a lot of people actually inside of that revenge trading phase. Let me know in the comments if you have lost a lot of money inside of RaveDAO. Let me know in the comment section. But anyways, moving on from that, ever since they put out their statement 2 days ago when they're trying to tell everybody, oh, we didn't scam you guys. We didn't scam you guys. Of course we had to sell some because we're trying to build up the marketing and stuff. So of course we got to sell some coins. And they actually did say that. So I'm not saying that for no reason. It says we do plan to liquidate portions of unlocked tokens. And you just now seen, I just now shown you guys that they sold literally 2% of the supply so far. They said we do plan to liquidate portions of unlocked tokens based on TRS, see below, when appropriate to fund operations, global hiring, marketing, strategic acquisitions. Like, yeah, they're saying that, but the only thing you need to listen to is the fact that they said they do plan to liquidate unlocked portions of tokens. And what they pretty much mean there is they pretty much mean they will sell on you. They are going to sell on you. That's what they just told you, that they literally just told you they're going to sell and they're going to dump and they're going to use you as exit liquidity, literally. Now, whether or not they're going to keep building the project, okay, I guess they can keep building the project with some of the money, but no, there's no doubt in my mind that some of that money is going to be used for personal gain. So they're going to be dumping it, and they're telling people that they're going to dump, and there's no doubt in my mind, right? Now, like I said in my previous video, I thought $1 would be the bottom or at least a good area for it to stop. But it's not looking like that. It's not looking like that. So the next range that we're looking for inside of RaveDAO, and also you can see over here, $1 was supposed to be good support. It's supposed to be good support. But if that doesn't happen, we gotta zoom all the way in here. And honestly, at this point, anything could happen. We're really gonna have to look towards like 30 to 50 cents if it continues to pull back down, right? If it continues to pull back down 30 to 50 cents, I know it sucks, but it is what it is. Also, 70 cents, we kind of hit that before. So maybe we'll stop there. Like maybe we'll do some type of bear trap the bears and then take off. Anything can happen at this point. So it's going to be extremely hard to predict. You're going to see a lot of people trying to predict it, but at this point, you just got to wait. This person here, he says, "What if I tell you that Rave will hit $5 again? Will you believe me?" Like stuff like this, they know a lot of people lost a lot of money, and people like this know that people are itching for some type of relief, right? People are itching for a relief rally, and maybe this could actually cause a relief rally, right? People are waiting for it, and then people like this are saying, it's gonna go up, and then maybe a bunch of people start buying, but the whales know this, and this is how they use people as exit liquidity. So you got to be extremely careful. And there was a lot of people wrong about this. Like this guy here, he said he was 100% wrong. Rave is 100% a scam. The price action is beyond ludicrous. Yeah. So this is exactly what happened here, like he said with Luna. But like, look, this happens to projects over and over again. We had Co-AI, we had MYX Finance, we had Siren. There's just so many different AI projects, so many different altcoins that just came out of nowhere and just started pumping. And then people just rallied behind it, and a lot of people made a lot of money. But in order for people to make a lot of money, someone has to lose a lot of money. So if you lost a lot of money, just know somebody made the money that you lost. Somebody made the money that you lost. So if you did lose money, just accept it and move on. Move on to the next project. If you want to try to get in on this, like I said, maybe 50 cents, anywhere from 30 to 50 cents, possibly. But this is still sketchy. It's still sketchy. Now, if we don't break down from this and we end up pumping out of here, then that would mean that this descending triangle was a bear trap, because this is a bearish signal, right? It is a bearish signal, whether it's a descending triangle, a bearish symmetrical triangle, or a bear pennant. Either way, it's one of those three bearish patterns. If it breaks out to the upside, it doesn't mean that I was wrong about the pattern. It just means that it was a bear trap, right? So we don't know if it's going to be a bear trap or if it's going to actually play out the way it's supposed to and dump, right? So you got to be extremely careful with that. And look, let's say that you bought in all the way up here around like $20. You're not getting that money back. If you bought $20 plus, like a lot of people did, you're not getting that money back. So if you're like, oh, I want to go and buy at $2 now, or I want to buy at $1 so I can ride the wave up to 10. like that would be a nice 10x gain. That would be a nice gain, but it doesn't work like that all the time. It doesn't work like that all the time. Could it happen? Yes, it could. Anything could happen, but it doesn't always work like that. So you got to be extremely careful. Extremely careful. Right now, this is pretty much all I got for that. If you guys want me to go over any project specifically, you can go ahead and become a member of the channel. It's only $9.99 per month. So you can go ahead and check that out. You can have me go over any stock or crypto, as long as it's not some type of low cap scam coin. I'll go over it for you guys. Just become a member of the channel. It's right here. Click join. And then also you can check out the link in the description for Advantage 5 best DeFi trading futures platform out there for stocks, crypto, and everything. Literally, they have everything on here, and it's up to 500x leverage. You can do zero fee perps, up to 500x leverage on zero fees. Literally, zero fee future trading, up to 500x leverage. Absolutely crazy. If you sign up through the link inside of the description, then you will get 5% off of your trading fees if you want to do the fees, because you can do either zero fee perps or you can do non-zero fee perps. If it's super high leverage, they just do zero fees because they automatically assume you're gonna get liquidated. So good luck, buddy. Like if you do 500x, there's a high chance you're gonna get liquidated. Let me just be honest there. And that's why they say zero fees if you're gonna do extremely high, right? So anywhere from over 75x leverage to 500x leverage, they do zero fee perps, right? But anything below 75x leverage, you gotta pay some fees on their perps, right? So yeah, go ahead and check it out. Link in the description, link in the comment section, all that good stuff. Check out Chart Prime, best automated trading indicators. In the game, we have a bunch of discounts on Chart Prime. As you can see with the yearly plan, you get 40% off with the yearly plan. And you can use the discount code Prime20 for a 20% off discount. So you can check that out. And just to kind of show you what Chart Prime is showing us for our current situation in Rave, we can actually look at what the indicators are telling us, because everything else I was showing is just manual technical analysis that I did. But if we're looking at Chart Prime is telling us we are at a discounted price range. We did stop at that price point. And then they're also telling us this overall is a falling wedge, and falling wedges are bullish patterns. So Chart Prime is telling us, hey, we're here at a good support. We're here at the discounted price point. We have a volume profile with a lot of buying pressure. This is where we're going to take off. That's what Chart Prime's saying. Me personally, I'm staying away from this, like I mentioned before. Look at this. Yeah, that is a descending triangle, but it didn't break out. Now it's going sideways. So we'll see if this descending triangle is a bullish or if it's bearish. So I'll keep you guys updated on this. But like I'm saying, this falling wedge, this descending triangle is looking bearish, right? It's looking bearish. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe. As always, I'll be back with another video.